All right, TGI Friday. Let me start off with a couple missed thank yous from this DNC deployment. I want to start with the Labor Council. As I told you last week, they were instrumental in providing enough manpower to help make it happen. And again, it was a great event. So Nick Cripple, Ryan Oliver, Tim Byron, Mike Powell, Jay Titus, Dave McLaren, and Brian Raposo were there just about every day on behalf of our membership. So thank you, gentlemen. There'll be a little thank you care package coming your way very soon. Also, I neglected one of our attorneys, Ralph Licari, who does a lot of our disability pension cases. Took the whole day off to show up not only for the 10 a.m. but the 3 p.m. roll calls. Ralph was there all day helping out, doing whatever was needed to be done to help give back to the members who he helps represent also. So Ralph, thank you for that selfless act. If you didn't know, the day off cancellations for Mexican Independence Weekend are out. The notice was put out August 13th, right before the DNC, that there was an expected cancellation. And here we are. It's ridiculous that this city continues to allow these kind of events that are actually frequently lawless, and then it requires a large police presence to get it under control, instead of just forbidding them and basically locking people up if they're violating the law. And this isn't a select pick on Mexican Independence Day or anything. There are constant events throughout the summer in this city that should not be permitted because we do not have the manpower to do it. And it always falls on the back of the men and women in blue shirts primarily. I will tell you, there's 50 aldermen and a mayor. I guarantee you that mayor's nowhere to be found during Mexican Independence Day. He's not out there trying to quell crowds, as well as many of the aldermen who basically hate the police and are more than happy to see him out there sweating their asses off, slaving away on their behalf because they refuse to rein in spending, and that's why we have a $1 billion budget shortfall coming up. Great job, Brandon. Great city you're running. Amazing that news didn't really get out before the DNC got out of town. How corrupt and ridiculous you have run this city into the ground by primarily prioritizing migrant spending first ahead of Chicagoans. Pathetic. But some good news. I told you a couple weeks ago about a lawsuit we had filed against Andrea Kirsten, COPA, a couple investigators, the mayor, the superintendent, etc. Well, if you don't know, Andrea Kirsten is clearly feeling the heat, and rather than do the right thing and admit that she's the problem, she blames other people and fired two of her lead investigators this afternoon, one of which was one of the named plaintiffs in the lawsuit. I have no sympathy for him. His investigations have led to excessive recommendations and basically sustained findings that should have never been, and arbitration has upheld those. So I guess he got a little bit of his comeuppance, but simply because they are giving statements to the OIG and the Community Commission on Policing and explaining what's been going on at COPA that we've been complaining about for years now, and City Council does not give a damn. There has not been a single police and fire meeting at all over this issue of COPA, even though we have two unfair labor practices filed against Andrea Kirsten and COPA, and there's many, many complaints that have just gone unheeded by City Hall. Well, now you're going to have to pay the piper because you leave her in charge, and now you just basically bought yourself two whistleblower lawsuits because she fired two people that were speaking out against her. She needs to go. That needs to be basically restructured from the ground up, city ordinance style. But I couldn't be prouder of the work specifically Danny Gorman and our legal team put together on crafting that lawsuit and having the right cases presented. It has certainly got the right people's attention. The ball is rolling and her days are numbered. With that, everybody have a safe weekend. See you next Friday. Oh, by the way, happy Labor Day. For what it's worth, I know I just tell you about cancellations and it's Labor Day coming up on Monday. But we're still committed to fight the good fight when it comes to labor and getting you the best benefits, packages, and protections that any police union in this country can provide. Stay tuned, though, for the Tier 2 members and the pension thing. They're trying to work out a fix. The first draft that they sent us and the PBPA was not acceptable. Our recommendations were sent back. we'll see where it goes from there. This time, I promise. Have a good weekend. Good night.